Okay, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to put this on mute and stop video if you don't mind. And then let me see if I can get on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I left it on. Which, thank you. Maybe if I do. Yes. Okay, that worked. Yay. All right. I don't know that I need that. So. Okay, Carrie, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
No, because I can't turn it on, Leanne. I don't even think I need it. I'm just going to set it there because I don't want to turn something off and then. So here we are at New Year's. Happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year to you, truly. Happy New Year. Somebody said to me, a friend, someone I love, said, I can't wait for another year. I can't wait for the end of this one. And I said, gosh, that feels truly distressing and sad to me because there was so much that I gained and that I know those who are awake and awakening gained from this year. Knowing the cause of suffering, right? Wow. Didn't we all get clear about that? Knowing where we're grabbing, clinging, wanting, where we wanted it to be different, where we thought it should be stable, where we thought protections and security should be, right? And what did we notice? Ow, like a lot of pain came out of that. Good morning, good morning. Dia, you can grab that chair and swing around here somewhere or whatever works best for you. And so this path, this mindfulness path, says that suffering is not only valuable, but essential. You were going to have to put the hand in the fire in order to see the true cause of suffering. And that it will never be, isn't it true, the fire itself that's the problem. Is it true? That fire, look at this one, offering warmth and a sense of community and a space around which to join and, right, all of a center point for everything else that's going to happen today. But we mistake, don't we often, the fire as our essential problem. Not the fact that we keep putting our hand in it, right? And then we keep putting our hand in it, and then we keep putting our and the burns keep happening, and we keep going, what, damn fire, bad fire. But is it true? No, it's just a condition of this amazing world that can be used, right, for towards the good, towards the benefit, or then towards, right, suffering. And so these teachings say, keep paying attention, like every breath, every minute, every day, the beginning of a new year, the end of a new year, every moment in it, to watch for what you're grabbing, to watch for what you're expecting, to watch for what you're demanding, to watch for how you think it ought to be, to watch for the right, because actually the only cause, this is how profound the teachings, I think, the only cause is the grabbing. Not the fire, not the weather, not the clouds, not the sky, not the birds, not the dog, not the husband, not whether it lights or whether it doesn't light, but rather these demands that we all have called, I want my life to be like this. And it's fair. Don't we go further? We write the narrative, right? So that's the headline. I want my life. It should go like this. Headline. It should be. And then we've got a lot of little print. Anybody ever read the little print on a prescription? What does everyone say? This will probably kill you. Or it might work. But right there, doesn't it? Hey, at your own risk. I don't know. This might actually kill you. And we're not going to take responsibility for that. Right? So you read the little print of your own headline. And what does that say? It should go my way. It should be the way I wanted, hoped, expected, demanded, thought, the way I was told. We get a lot of it from there, right? Life was supposed to be like that. The way then I grew up going, if I work hard, if I'm a good person, this is spiritual bypassing at its ultimate. I've done it for years because I'm such a good practitioner. Then right, my husband should like me more because I'm so fabulous. Yeah. Right. Because I'm a meditator, because right. No, this is all. And so intention setting really, for me, every year is a way to begin to clear an obstacle. I use this day as a commitment to clearing one of the obstacles to my ease, happiness, well-being, and to address one of my grabs, one of the things. And so one of the things I have frequently believed, and it goes back generations in my family. This is not just mine. It wasn't just my father's. I mean, it probably goes back to the earliest, is that if you do it right, then things go the way they're supposed to go. You work hard, strong ethic, you get it right, you put a lot in, and then it's supposed to go the way you thought it should go. And I have to work on that a lot. Here's why. I'll give you my own example, and then we're going to think of yours. Why? Because I work hard. There's no doubt. Remember, I have a strong work ethic. It comes from my Midwestern roots. I work hard to try to say it the right way. I work hard to try to be wholehearted. I work hard to not bring judgments, condemnation, criticism to the right interactions, to the care. I work hard to do it. And then I do all that. And what happens? Nothing. Or somebody goes, yeah, not that much. Or I still don't like you. Or I still think you're stupid. Or, right, I don't care how much you blah, blah. I just think you're greedy. I just think, right? And right. And so what's my practice? I'm going to name it for you. The word I came up with this year is entrust. I'm going to entrust that the good leads to the good, even when I can't see it, even when I have no evidence that it's happening, even when, because I have enough, actually, by the way, going all the way back, probably 5 generations, to say the good does lead to the good, but not in my time. Not in the interaction. I thought she should say, I really appreciate your kindness or patience, or not then, but that I always do see it's unfolding. It's really true. I do. I do. And so guess what? In trust for me is going to be like really surrender to that this year. I have said, really surrender. There is no distress. There is no complaint. It will, right? The good leads to the good. I am certain of this in its time, not in my time. And so I'm giving that up. Like not right now, not right. It's not gonna, it's okay. I can entrust. And so we're going to practice today, first holding a lot of open space, because that's where the mind heart rests, right? And then we're going to notice what gets in its way. And we're going to make sure that we notice, that we bring recognition to that. What gets in its way, like a thumb in front of the eye, appears to really consume, doesn't it, the space. It's not true, though, is it? It can actually appear, this one little hand can actually look like it's blinding you, but what? There's really all of this happening. And then we're going to name that and see if we can't name our practice. What's the practice? With that obscuration, with that confusion, with that wanting, what's the practice? Mine was trust. Trust that even when it looks like this, there's all of this, really, and that here, right? So we're going to try that for our practice today. I'm doing this just so you can see me move my mouth for a minute, and then I'm going to put it back down. We have an absolutely gorgeous fire here. I wanted to show everyone that only because it's lovely. We're sitting right here with that. And this is our community today. Seth and Satya, there. Dia's way in the back, Lan's over there. We got Robin here, Jan, Renee, Paul, and Joyce and Rick back there. Okay. What a beautiful, beautiful morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to set myself up. So find a position that's going to allow you. After we name that intention, we're actually going to write that intention or a blessing on our fly paper. I've had that fly paper for about 10 years. I just found it again, cleaning out I thought it was long gone, by the way. And like how perfect. We're going to write the blessing or the intention on that fly paper later and let it be offered. And it goes just right up into that vast open space. Held by everything then. And that's going to be our ending for today. So everyone prepare to sit. I'm going to have to alter this because for a long period, if I'm not set up, I already know how this goes. It wins. There, oh, there's the flick there. Gosh, that's that one little flick and the difference it makes. Okay. So then establishing the body in the way that invites open, receptive, inclusive. We're not pushing anything away today. Often what happens in a ritual transition is we're going to let go of that which has obscured, inhibited, blocked the heart mind. We're actually going to make contact with it a little bit first, because you can't say goodbye to something you didn't say hello to, says Joko. You can't get rid of the thing you have not been willing to completely befriend. Do you get that idea? That you have to first invite it in. This is that I've got to know it. I've got to feel its ouch, the pinch, the grip, before I can then, and our job really is to hold it, not to reject, push away, or try to get rid of. It never works. Has anybody noticed this? It's never worked. It's never going to work. We might as well put that down and give up that demand. That if I go like this, all of the things I didn't want somehow, no. In fact, quite the opposite. Can we invite them into the very breath we're going to breathe. Here's a little quote by Rumi, and I loved it for its simplicity. Expecting the worst, you look, and instead, here's the joyful face you've been wanting to see. Here it is right there. Expecting the worst, you look, and instead, here's the joyful face you've been wanting to see. Your hand opens and closes and opens and closes as if you're always a fist or always stretched open. If that were so, you would be paralyzed. If you were always like this or always like this, they would both be paralysis. This is not the way, is it? It is in its movement. It is in its, right, joyful recognition. Your deepest presence is in every small contracting and expanding, the two as beautifully balanced and coordinated as bird wings. The expanding and contracting as beautiful and balanced as bird wings. Essential. So we're not pushing away suffering. We're not clinging to ease, joy, pleasant, goodness, right? This is the work, isn't it? We're going to just open, abide, rest, and be still while we notice the opening and the closing. Let's see what we notice today in our practice together. Finding your essential aspiration just for this moment. We have lots of birds cawing here this morning. Can we notice the habit of the mind body to contract or expand? Can we invite the mind into the body? Let the body rest and become heavy as it settles into the earth. See if you don't notice that ever true reality, that expanding and contracting as it's happening right here in your own body with your own breath. We call to mind not only our wish for ease, for happiness, for safety, for well-being. We call to mind those for whom we practice. And no matter what you do every day, set that intention. You call to mind a goodness, and then you call to mind those for whom you wish to offer it. Every day, beginning today. Might be family, might be friends, might be those we know in need. People we know and people we don't know. Include yourself. You could simply take a breath with the thought of yourself and another. Something quite simple like that. And change the whole of the heart mind by the very offering. Something opens and expands right in the holding of a wish for well-being and right in the willingness to give it away. We are already changed, truly transformed. And just rest for a moment in that. This first day of this new year, beginning anew, we're going to set the heart mind to the compass point of that genuine desire, the wish for ease, for happiness, for well being, for safety, not only for oneself, but for others. And then we make that commitment, we set the intention. I will call this to mind every day. Those well wishes and those for whom we offer them. This will change your life right there. Let's breathe that for a few minutes. We offer this to all beings everywhere without exception, omitting none. There's a practice, omitting none, awakening us and freeing us all. And now that we have set the course of the mind, we simply breathe it into being and presence with every breath. We use the breath as the metronome for our well wishes. There may be specific people who come to mind, let them come. As we're breathing, one of the things that happens with awareness is the mind, the thinking mind, the planning, judging, begins to rest into experience and awareness itself. And so you notice rather than all that thinking going, it actually just feels lovely to sit here and breathe, knowing that you're breathing. And more with each breath, we begin to surrender the thinking mind altogether. You begin to feel it's efforting. It's a lot of work. And actually, we begin to trust, don't we, the breath itself, the being itself. And we begin to find our way home. We feel the sense of the contracting and the releasing that Rumi talks about, this continual movement right in the midst of the vast stillness. We breathe that wholehearted wish, those aspirations and intentions, and we let it seep into the whole of our body and being. And so, one of the things I notice is that as I sit, I can feel that sense of that whole, not only the skin surface, but the soft tissue, not only that, but the bone, not only that, but the organs, being infused with this kind, gentle, loving presence. The one ignited by the heart. What do you most love? What do you most care about? And where do you notice that in your own body? It's like a transfusion, really. We're pointing the mind towards goodness, towards loving kindness, compassion, towards our own whole and open heartedness. And then we offer it right back to ourselves. And then we begin to notice that as the mind settles, as the body softens, we can feel that sense of open and wholeheartedness just a little bit more. We're not distracted by thoughts or sounds, or we can infuse not only then ourselves, but everything that arises with that same kindness, that same generosity, that same compassion and care, because that's the lens we have set in place. And this path that we are choosing today for the whole of the year is actually one that has been walked by many other awakened ones. And as we're going to begin investigating in this new year, it is every breath, every step, every action, every thought, every word. This is why we must take time to set the mind, to open the heart, to soften the body. It's impossible otherwise. And so then what do you need to do in order to realize that life path? What gets in the way? What busyness, what distraction, what wanting or craving, what habits get in the way of this practice for you every day? And the teachings say that there are two essential sufferings: the clinging to something that is changing, the wanting of something that is in its natural transition, and the wish to keep it, hold it, grip it, right? That's one of the sufferings. That's the fist. And the other one is the rejection, the pushing away, the denial, the not wanting. What keeps you from opening your hands wide, opening the heart mind wide every day, beginning each day, but rather caught in the contraction or the expansion, rather than that open resting, getting things done, ordering something, chasing something, pushing away something. What is it? You're probably doing it every day. What obscures this naturally radiant, open, receptive heart mind? Where are you rushing to? And rather than judge it, rather than reject, rather than try to separate, we're just going to simply open a space within this heart mind to include whatever that distraction, whatever those habits might be. They're actually, by their design, they were offered to protect us, weren't they? And if you really can't figure out what gets in my way, look at your calendar and look at your credit card statement. It'll be right there. Where am I spending this precious resource of my own being? Look at the calendar and look at that credit card statement. That's where you're spending it. And of course, there's a lot of right energies, right effort there as well. But for right now, that's not the focus. We know we are committed to the good. And so there's a lot of evidence for it right there. But I want you to look for where you have wasted, ridiculous waste of time, too much money, too much time. And we're going to see if we can let it go. Beginning today, rather than grip or reject, we're simply going to rest the hands, rest the heart, and let it go. This will actually offer you a greater energy and resource for what is truly needed. And we let it settle and dissolve with each out breath. We create space and room. What is most needed? So if you didn't fill the calendar and you didn't keep using the Amazon credit card, what would you have more time and energy for? And as I have been doing these reflections, one of the things that came to me, I'll just offer it as an example, is that I work so much that I don't have time to visit my mother. That's crazy. And it's not right effort. And so, whatever else I was doing on those days, as I was looking at them, it's like, wait a minute, this is not what's important. And so, one of those intentions, we let that come right out of that clarity, that clear seeing. What keeps you from this presence, this time with oneself to begin? What gets in the way of that? And then what gets in the way of time with others? And then letting go of all the thoughts, we're simply going to breathe for a time in this softened body, once again, this open heart, and feel the aspirations for love, connection, ease. But feel them and know them by heart. Feel them and know them by body. And then let a word come if it comes. And often for me, the practice is first just to rest in that open space. And then we set the three base aspirations. These are at the base of all other aspirations and intentions. And so we hold those first. And the first is that I commit to causing least harm. Instead of that habitual eye roll, instead of that numbing, instead of that rage, instead of that cynicism, instead of that shutting down, I commit myself to causing least harm, which means all of those, we practice releasing all of those and more. That's the base aspiration, that if we cannot direct ourselves in any other way, that we at least remain still and cause least harm. Better to not say it than to say it and not be sure. This is an essential restraint and renunciation practice of the very best kind. The second essential aspiration is that we generate goodness. And right out of that stillness and that silence, if we didn't do anything else, we're already doing that. And hopefully you can feel that here. We commit ourselves to generating the good. In thought, word, and deed. And very much so for me, beginning every day in the doing nothing, so that I can point that compass towards that aspiration. And the third is that we contribute and generate the good, not only for our own interests, not only for our own likes and dislikes, not only for getting what we want, what we need, what we think is fair, just, but for all beings. We get bigger. We let that good generate other goodness as it will. And we commit ourselves to that. And if we still feel confused about how then to live from those base aspirations, we have the precepts set here for us as basic guides for the realization of those aspirations. And they are the basics, right? That we will not kill, we will not take that which is not intended for us, and not more than is needed. That we will offer safety and protection to those deserving of that protection, rather than exploiting them. That we will not misuse substances. And of course, once upon a time, that was thought to be something as simple as alcohol, or I actually think it's all consumption, that we are conscious in what we use, eat, drink, buy. And that we don't lie, that we commit ourselves to right speech, and cause least harm. And just breathing that in for a moment, seeing where there may be opportunities for you to strengthen your practice in this year. And from all of that, from those bases, we can trust that good will be the result. And that our essential wishes for happiness, for the end of suffering, for the happiness at others, and our own blessings, and for the deep abiding reality of equanimity, that these will be the fruit. May we all be happy. May we all be free from inner and outer harm. May we take delight and be glad. May we rejoice at our blessings, these infinite blessings, and wish and offer those blessings to others. May we abide on this day in this new year for the whole of it in our own boundless good hearts. Free from greed, free from hatred, and free from ignorance. And may we gather those blessings today, these wishes for well-being, and offer them as often as we can, wherever needed. And as we set the course of this awakened heart mind rightly, all good will be its result. And may this practice today contribute. So we're going to do a little ritual, and I don't think I don't know how beneficial it will be to those of you on Zoom. Just, I guess I'll describe it for everyone. And if I could get some help, there's some cards under that fly paper there. Do you see those? There, yeah. If you would give everybody at least one of those. What we're going to be writing on that just straight sheet of paper are all the things we're going to be letting go of. All, remember I said the obscurations, the things in the way, the things that have bound us, the things that have prevented that radiant open heart. We're going to put those on paper. We're going to burn those. They're going to fall to into the lava rock. And then we're going to also pass out a piece of fly paper. And that paper is going to be the paper for our aspiration, for our intention, for our inspiration for the year. And we're going to write that on the fly paper. We're going to do that second. After we let go, we're going to actually create and let be inspired. And that will burn in the second round. But for this piece of paper, and there's pens there, could somebody help get those? Okay. We're going to write that which we are releasing, letting go of, surrendering, putting it down. No more grip. What is that? What is that?
Hey, Diana.
Yes.
It's Tanya.
Tanya.
Good morning. Happy New Year to you and everybody. I'm so grateful to be with you guys this morning.
Thank you.
So even though I'm not physically there, I can still write my intention and when I'm releasing and still like let that go, correct?
Yes, and I would use a candle if I were at home. So we have this beautiful fire and a candle here, but when I don't do this ritual with others, I simply do it at home and I do the same work. I write that which I'm releasing and I make a statement about that, by the way, Tanya. I say, I am fully releasing this. This will not continue with me into this new year, right? Just letting it go. And I burn that. And then I actually put that ash outside, just like the monks do in the mandala practice, right? They dissolve that sand in the ocean. We're just going to bring that out. And some people bury that in the earth and some people just place it in the earth. We're just going to burn it today and let that ash fall. And it'll just fall into the ground. And then our second one will be on, we happen to have enough fly paper. Again, it was a miracle and a gift that I even found that. I don't even know how that happened. Life's more amazing.
And I also
sure,
sent my intention too. I sent it to you via text message just so it was there with you.
Thank you.
I can do that.
Thank you. I will write that, Tanya, on my paper and make sure that we send that out into the boundless space with you.
I love
So
you.
thank you for that. If anybody else has one they'd like me to send up with the fly paper, let me know. Write that on chat. What I'll do is look on that in a minute, and I'll take one of those pieces of paper for that. Write me directly on chat if you're going to do that. That way, it'll stay personal. So I'm going to grab, I'm going to move this a little bit here. Oh my God, what? Oh, right in my head. Perfect. Okay, got it. Thank you, Courtney. I did get that. So again, I'm happy to share examples. One of the things I'm letting go of is my scrolling. I do work on the computer. I get tired, and I think I just need to be done with that. Instead of just getting off of that stupid thing, I click on like 9 other things that I just don't need to be on. Like, what am I doing? I have this amazing yard, right? I just need to go sit in it for a minute. And oh no, I check on Facebook and then I check my Amazon order which I'm committing not to using this year, by the way. That's one of my renunciate, like, I do not need anything. I can get curcumin anywhere, I'm sure. I do not need to get on Amazon to get that. I'm done. I don't even want, why? Because I feel the pull of it. I get lost. I'm like, oh, well, you know, those scissors, like, because I'm going to do this. Oh yeah, I'll look for yeah. And then I'll look for another thing over here on Amazon that I don't probably need, that my neighbor or somebody's got. I could ask, right? So those are just some of the things that have come to me. I've been watching, like, where is this waste of energy, resource, and time? And how do I reclaim that for myself? Let's say that it were only 3 minutes a day that I was doing it. That's 3 minutes I'm never going to get back. I'm never. And the thing that comes out of it is not anything that I want to propagate. It's nothing that will be of real benefit. It isn't. So, right? I can just go to Sprouts for my curcumin. I don't have to get on that thing. I don't need to be shipping, and right? It's not helpful to me in the world. Those are just examples. They're in no way mandates, right? That's just something I'm noticing. That's just something I want to work more on. What is that for you? Remember, look at the calendar, look at your credit card statement. Where are you investing time and resource? And is it most? Whoops. There it goes. That's Amazon. I'm sure Amazon organized that. Going, don't do it. We need you. Buy things. Don't go. Don't leave me. Yeah.
Give me personal.
Yeah. So this is just what people are saying. Faith in surrendering to what my heart knows, right? That I have, that's that trust. I'm saying in trust. This person is saying faith. Another person is saying the numbing with Netflix and social media. Wow. True, 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 and true. I don't care if it's a minute a day. What are we doing over there? What are we doing to release all that binds me and prevents me to be my best? Wonderful. How lovely. Courtney did this very ritual with her family and others yesterday. Yes, it is meaningful. It's important. Got that. I'm writing all of those down on the fly paper, everyone. Those aspirations will go up. So if you have your piece of paper with your release, what I'm releasing, you can just come up, stand for a moment, please. Stand there for a moment. Gather it, because you're letting it go, right? I mean, really, you're letting it go. Don't fling it into you're placing it there, right? And I want you to stand there going, I am, to yourself, I'm releasing this. This is not going to be here anymore, right? It is to be done. And that was one of my teacher's statement. Let this be done. This is it. No more Amazon for me. Bang. It's going in, right? Because it represents a whole bunch of other things. Right. Okay. So whenever you're ready, you can choose to do that. There's no order for this. But just stand there for a moment and you'll see the space for it. So I see several people doing things like releasing so much time in social media. Yeah, I think we've got a whole bunch of energy we can be directing to other things. As I'm writing, I'm noticing a couple other things coming. So take your time. And if you have a candle at home, and you choose to do that, know that I'm putting your aspirations in. Let this be done. Whatever that is. Know that we're letting go of some addictive process, by the way. Whatever that is, that's what's really here. You're getting that obscuration, no more addictive process, not gonna do it. For me, as that example of that Amazon. Okay, then we're gonna pass out this fly paper now. So if somebody could help me with that, that would be great also. You might need a little something to write on. So I'm gonna take one for me. And there we go. Yep. And then I have these papers in case anybody wants to write that on your a card to keep, what my aspiration is, just know rather than write. So these are the ones that you would keep. Thank you. So everyone on Zoom, know that I have written your aspiration here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shivam, I have yours also.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Everybody gets one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Little.
I might need 3.
Yeah, I think we have some, so
Well, there's extra.
it appears we have extra, yeah.
What's supposed to go on that one?
That go, the aspirations, intentions, and that which we're going to be sending into boundless open space to be held. So that which we're committing to, people are, I'll give you examples. People are saying things like peace and presence and mindful priority. That's an aspiration. That I might be my best and highest self. Faith, mine is in trusting. Aspirations and intentions typically are things that will contribute to, benefit, or invite our highest qualities, right? And those qualities are things like loving kindness, compassion, gratitude, joy. Those are things we're going to be committing to through these. And in trust for me is, like I used that as an example, that's mine for the year. that I'm trusting the unfolding of things in their order and time, not in mine. And I am going to my text, by the way, just so people know, because I have a couple people have written me by text also. Yeah. One of my daily intentions, I'll give you another example just to be support for you all. One of my daily intentions is, how am I going to live love today? That's a question I ask every morning. How am I going to live love today? And I set an action. And, right? An act of kindness, an act of generosity, an act of goodness, an act of presence. I said it every day. I go, this one day, if I don't do anything else, right? If I don't do anything else, I'm going to pull that off, right? If I end up getting on Amazon anyway, if I spend the whole day eating popcorn, if I blow it all and watch Netflix for the next 4 years, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to do this, right? And I set that as my compass guide for the day. What I always find, and you will too, is that there's infinite other ways that you ended up living that goodness. But I pick one as a nope, you're going to make that one happen no matter what, right? Whatever that is. And in that way, we live more intentionally, which we're going to be talking about a lot over the next many weeks with a whole life path, which I'm hoping people are getting and starting to read. Okay, Tanya, I did see the other one on text.
That's the book, right? And you like.
That's the book, A Whole Life Path. Yep, beautiful, Tanya. I see your aspirations here. Good for you.
Got it.
So for those of you who are at home, I would try to find a place to write what you've also written to me so that you can hold that for a time. We know, don't we, as we're cultivating path habits, that we need to hold that for a time ourselves. And so don't assume that you don't need that in writing. Write it for yourself and keep those aspirations. You're going to need them for a while. You're going to have to look at those every day. Like, right, there it is. There it is again. There it is again. Do not assume that just because you went through this and like that was meaningful to me, I saw the back, you're not going to remember. That's why those other cards are there. So if you didn't use the other card to actually write that for you, I want you to take the time to do that. Because honest, walk around with it for the month of January. Right? Really, no joke. Okay, so when you're ready, I'm going to try to turn the camera because I want people to be able to see this. It's pretty fun. Let's see if I can find the fire there. Is that it? Let me see if that's. Yeah, okay, here we go. All right, group. There's the fire. And so a statement that I'm just going to make for this is my entrust first. And again, you'll find a statement that feels right for you. May I live this today and every day. May I live this today and every day. Did you see what it did? Could you guys see that? It actually goes up into the air. And this is for Shivam and Courtney and Marie and Tanya and Lisa. I'm trying to think of who else might be on here. Shivam. Okay, here we go. May you live this today and every day. There it goes.
Wow.
Off into the ether. All right, group, go ahead whenever you're ready. I'm just going to let the group on Zoom watch. I'm going to write mine so that I can carry it with me for a little bit. Yeah, watch where they actually, I had a friend just do this the other day and she caught it. Yeah, just like Renee, she caught hers. It fell right back to her, which was lovely. Okay.
Dissolve into the environment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it can fly off. Yeah. It seems to work better when we do it that way and it'll fly up. There it goes. There it
none of
goes.
them are too heavy to fly.
Yes, well, it depends on how much you wrote on those, I suppose. Look at this one. Look at Satya's is actually just beautifully dancing.
Yeah, I love it.
Look at that.
Crazy.
Is there anyone else?
They like to come towards you.
Yep. That is the book. Diaz went right into the garden to rest with the orchids. Tanya, can you see that happening? Can you see people's paper flying? I don't know. I don't know if you can see it.
Find it.
Yeah, you can see them kind of fluttering.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see that.
But we actually have several flying around now,
Like the flies.
which is actually pretty
Yeah.
fabulous.
Let it go into the world.
Yep,
Thank you, though.
we're letting them fall where they will and float where they will. Anyone else? Okay. So what do you know about this then? Why, let's start with this. Why ritual? Why? Why do we do this as a ritual? And not just think it? That's right. It's actually lived. It's not just thoughts. And actually that which we only think, just so you know, will not, without then living consistent with, right? Living embodied, as Satya said, cannot be alive. The best thoughts, right? It's the beautiful beginning, by the way. So I'm not saying don't think it. That's what we did. We came up with, right, first that, but then you've got to take an action embodied. And then how are you going to do it every day? How do you embody every day? Well, the way I do it is to sit still, ring the bell, call up my intentions and breathe them every day. If that's 10 breaths, If that's 10 minutes, I don't care, but I do want you to do it. Because then what are you letting lead you in this life? What are you being guided by other than the distractions and the right of everything else? And it's right now, it's like this in front of us. You can't get on the computer anymore. And we're all on it for whatever set of reasons we are. You can't get on it without being filled with, right? If I look at one thing, my sister actually said to me the other day, I was thinking about a trip to somewhere. The next day, she didn't even research it. The next day, it was in her margin. Like, what?
Wow.
Like, I just like, that's freaky. I just thought it. I didn't even look up New Zealand yet. And there it was, all these amazing deals for how to get to New Zealand, right? Now that's both wonderful when, right? It's beautiful and wonderful. And we have to be careful about its addictive craving, seeking, wanting nature, right? Which is why Amazon and I are not going to be friends this year. We're parting lovingly because there are too many other ways to get what I need besides that. Okay, why don't we sit together for another minute? I'm going to look here and see if there's anyone else who has anything. It's 9 o'clock already. We all have, I'm sure, beautiful plans, including doing nothing, right? Including doing nothing today. Yes, Courtney said the rituals to help us remember, to embody, as Satya said, Shivam said as well. My aspiration may be different each day, which is why I set it daily. Yes, but there should be ultimately, Shivam, some course. The Buddha said there is a path and there's infinite ways to walk it, but it's still the path, and you call that path to mind. Because otherwise that can end up being somewhat random. So there is a course. You do have intention, whether that's for goodness, for least harm, right? For making a contribution, not only to myself, but another today. That's the course. And aren't there then infinite forms that can take? And that is actually right. But the aspiration, there aren't thousands of those. They are basic. And that's our essential path, just so we know. Yes. And then there's no end. Committing within the community makes it more powerful. Yes, because guess what? You're being witnessed, aren't you? You're bearing witness and you are a witness, and others are witnessing you make that commitment. That's why I said mine out loud. By the way, I said it out loud because now I've got like 25 other people to help me, support me, be accountable for that. I love that. That doesn't feel like a problem for me. That feels like a blessing. Right? So if you see a lot of Amazon boxes at my house, you're going to go, how can I help you? Right? How can I help you? Because I know that one of the things you're working on is not doing that. So how can I support you and be there for you? Right? That was the beauty, by the way, of Weight Watchers. Right? It wasn't because they had any particular great plan. They had a certain community and accountability and a holding of each other called Yay for You, right? If you were on the no carb plan, and yay for you if you were on the juicing plan. And yeah, right? That was just that celebration.
My mom had her weigh-ins, her weekly weigh-ins.
Exactly.
Like the thing.
Right? And
I'm
you
weighing tonight.
weighing in. My mother is a member of TOPS. Of course, I think she mostly likes to win the free gifts. She's very good at this. She's a lifelong dieter, and she's remarkable at it. But so she goes, I got to go weigh in. And I know what it really means is I'm going to get that teapot that I really want. Yeah. All right, everyone, let's sit together for a moment, please. With all of the aspirations, the blessings being released into this boundless space, the space of our own good heart minds. May we begin each day like this. May we recollect the goodness of our intentions and our aspirations. And may we rest in that goodness for at least 20 to 60 breaths. May we be unconditional in our commitment to that and let the good follow. May we have mercy. May we forgive ourselves. May we bring compassion and kindness in our moments of forgetting. And that will be its own remembering. May we support each other. May the Sangha be present for each other in these aspirations. And may we live it big and bold. May we all be well. May we all be filled with loving kindness, compassion, and joy in this new year. And may all that goodness be realized. Moment by moment, breath by breath, day by day. And may our practice, this practice today, and all practice before and to come, may it contribute. So be it. May we gather our hands together at the heart and offer a deep bow both to ourselves, to each other, and to all beings. May we all realize our Buddha nature in this beautiful, bright new year. Thank you all so much for being here with me. What a wonderful way to start the new year. Satya and Seth, so fabulous to have you here and to have the community come to be with you. I was like, okay, it's going to be Satya, Seth, and me. And that's all that will be here on this day. It's going to be a gorgeous day. It's already, look at this, how beautiful this day. Please, everybody, do your best to get out and enjoy a little bit. Thank you all so much.
Diana, is there a retreat this month?
There is a mindful all day on the 15th of I think it's the 15th,
I think it's, I just want to know if it was.
a Saturday. Yeah, yes. And I will be posting that once again for people to be able to sign up. We will be outside at Quest Haven. Yeah, we'll be outside at Quest Haven. We will not be online because that has been from Quest Haven. They have no resource. I don't mean that overall at Quest Haven because they're full of resource, but their cell coverage is poor. All right, everyone, be well. They're good to see you all. You can just put those pens right there. Courtney, Happy New Year. Mwah, good to see you.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, everyone.
Are you guys chilling?
Little bit. They were in a little bit of